very warm welcome to all our air sports fans. My name's Regan Tetlow and this is Air Sports News, brought to you every Wednesday on the fan page of Air Sports Promotion. So let's have a look at the stories that are making the news this week. Our first story comes from the world of drone racing and the Drone Racing League. Former NBA sponsorship sales executive Rachel Jacobson has joined the DRL as president. Jacobson will spearhead marketing, media rights and sponsorships for the New York City-based league. Currently, no DRL events have been announced for the 2020 DRL Alliance World Championships. The new president said she's happy to be back in sports, but her intention was not to start a new job during a pandemic. Former president of DRL said the decision was essential, and Jacobson is priceless for the league now like never before. Paragliders all over the world have a huge problem right now with upcoming events for 2020. A few days ago, the FAI organised an online conference to inform athletes just how the COVID-19 crisis affects the future of air sports. Authorities confirmed, as they said in mid-March, that it is up to individual air sports commissions to evaluate the impact of COVID-19 on their individual sport and then take any necessary action, including cancelling competitions. Up till now, only the 4th FAI Pan American Paragliding XC in Brazil has taken place. Most of the commissions decided to postpone events previously planned for 2020. Only the Asian Paragliding Accuracy Competition in Kazakhstan is still waiting for their final decision, which will be released on the 1st of June. And it's not good news for hang gliders. Just a few days ago, the Dutch Open Hang Gliding Championship was officially cancelled. The event, originally planned for the 24th of May, will now take place next year. All 3 world-class hang gliding events in Florida will also be postponed, even possibly till 2022 if necessary. We are still waiting for news from the European Hang Gliding Championships, which is scheduled to take place from the 4th to the 18th of July. Within a week from now, organisers of the World Glider Aerobatic Championships 2020 in Lesno will decide what will happen with this much anticipated event. At this time, the WGAC competition is scheduled to take place from the 22nd of July to the 2nd of August. At the moment, the organisers have only rescheduled registration, but they also warn that the cancellation of the event is not yet off the table. So of course all the athletes are waiting for the final decision, including champion US glider aerobatic pilot Eric Lenz-Gauthier. I spoke with him about the current situation. So what's been going on for you? What have you been doing these last few weeks? Tell me how you've been coping during this crazy times.
Last few weeks I can't say I can complain very much. It's nice weather here and I'm kind of out in the country, so even though things are upside down and all backwards, I'm still able to basically do what I want to do. Been doing a lot of flying, a lot of bicycling, and basically just trying to get everything ready for the season, whatever that might look like.
Yeah, how's it looking at the moment for you there in California?
Well, we basically just got the news that most of the things are going to be pushed back a year. Poland, which is supposed to be the host of the World Championships this year, has not made the decision to cancel it yet, so I guess there's still an outside chance that they'd go forward, but it's looking like everything's going to be pushed back a year, so probably the international season is going to be a wash this year, although in California we've got a few contests scheduled in October, November, so, you know, things recover a little bit, we might be able to still have a decent season at the end of the summer. So
we don't have many American sailplane competitors, do we? Mostly European.
That's true. We've got a few. We're working on growing the sport here and working on growing the team a little bit. We've had maybe half a dozen pilots over the last half a dozen years that have showed up. Most of the contests I've flown in Europe, I've been the only US pilot over there, but we've had, 3 or 4 or 5 other pilots. I was happy last time I came over, we had 3 pilots, so we actually had a full advanced team for the first time, so that was pretty cool.
Are you involved in coaching with the newer competitors?
Yeah, absolutely. I've done a bit of coaching, honestly, mostly international with other teams. I worked with the British team. I've gone over and flown with the Italian team and the Polish team the last few years. They've been real generous in letting me fly their equipment in competitions, as have, you know, a lot of the international team have flown French glider, German glider. So it's I've really benefited from the basic generosity in the sport.
And we look forward to seeing you back in Europe at the next competitions.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Good catching up with you. Thanks.
Thanks very much for your time, Eric. Really appreciate it. And the full-length interview with Eric is ready to watch right now on the Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel. Most of the indoor skydiving events are currently postponed or cancelled, and our athletes are currently grounded and awaiting the end of the pandemic. It's been quite fun actually these last few weeks watching how our athletes are using the free time. We asked world champion and world record holder Andrei Sotek about his life without flying. So first of all, massive congratulations on that new record, 47.07, smashing the previous record of 53.45. How did you do that?
For us, that was really easy. That was a really fast round, and our first thought was to beat this world record because it was like Polish Open, so we could like officially do it. So our first thought was like, let's go 100%, and yeah, we did 47 seconds. It was a really fast round, and I think it's the first record with like 40 plus seconds. Like the previous one was like 52, right?
53.45.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's a massive.
So that's a big break between those two.
How are you keeping? Lockdown? How is it coping? How are you coping with it?
Oh yeah, for me this time is really nice because I can have my time to learn like biology and chemistry, because now I'm taking final high school exams. So right now I'm just studying hard and trying to make those exams just great.
Tunnel competitions. I mean, who can say? When do you think the next one's going to be? The next event?
I think the next one is just going to be the World Cup because it has been moved from April to September. Yeah, for me, it wasn't my goal for sure because I had the final high school exams.
Yeah.
But now they're moved to June. So everything is just moved. Everything is changing right now. We just have to be patient and just keep on doing our thing.
Have you got any tunnels actually open right now in Poland?
I don't think so. I think they're not really open because of the lockdown of the quarantine. I think it's just closed for people. I haven't flied for like months.
I think they're going to open the tunnel in Voss this weekend. I heard that.
Yes. That's what I saw. I think like whenever they're just gonna open the tunnel, everyone is just gonna go at like whatever time, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. doesn't matter. It's just the thing of flying, because like I think everyone is missing tunnel and stuff.
Good, and we look forward to seeing you back in the air and back in the tunnel. Andrzej, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And you can find out more from the interview on the Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel. So if you're looking for a place where you can take off your mask and your gloves without all these restrictions, water is the answer. Manufacturer's Dornier just released its new version of the Sea Star amphibian aircraft. The prototype spent 31 minutes in the air over the beautiful German landscape near Oberpfaffenhofen Airport. This new version of the airplane can fly at a maximum cruise speed of 180 knots with a range of 900 nautical miles. Last week we reported on the avalanche of cancellations in the world of air shows. Many air display pilots have enormous problems with budgeting because of the crisis, and the consequences of the economic recession make their future uncertain.
Airshow organisers, I think, have a real difficult choice right now. Do you cancel the airshow completely? Do you postpone it to a time where you're more confident of being able to run the air show, maybe later in the year, maybe 2021? And we've seen both options, all three options, and they're all frustrating for us. We're ready to fly. We have our licenses extended or renewed. The aeroplanes are fit to fly. We're ready to go. We just need an air show to go and fly at. So yeah, it's very frustrating. We're still paying out insurance. We're still paying out maintenance. We're still paying out for aircraft permissions every year. We have no income. We have no flying income, but the airplanes are still costing us money. So yeah, it's a difficult situation for everybody. So we've only done one air show this year before the virus hit. And that was in Riyadh, and what a first air show to do internationally. It was fantastic. The highlights for us were not only flying in over a brand new sort of landscape, which was really quite alien and fascinating, but also our engagement with the other teams. Great bunch of teams there, had Pioneer team particularly, and the Flying Dragons. Now the Flying Dragons fly paramotors. One of the things in air shows that always fascinated me is being an interaction of dissimilar types of aeroplane, and with lots of ideas for the future. So we're hoping that when lockdown finishes and air shows do happen again, then we can explore that relationship further.
Organisers of the short takeoff and landing STOL competitions hold off with their decisions about the future of their events, but designers of the wildest aircraft in the category have not been wasting their time. Honda don't only produce good engines for motorcycles and motorboats. The new Wild West aircraft with its Honda engine can take off within 6 feet. Check this out. Also, the manufacturer Cub Crafters presented their first STOL aircraft with nosewheel. The NX Cub showed that during an online STOL competition that it can depart on a distance shorter than 14 feet. So we've just received some sad news right now from Poland, from Nałęczów, and the authorities have released a letter regarding the 4th FEI Women's Hot Air Ballooning Championships. They've officially been cancelled due to the constantly upsetting pandemic situation. So sending our words of encouragement to you guys and everybody that's involved in this breaking sad news right now. And now it's time for our Hero of the Week. Harriet Quimby, born May the 11th, 1875, was an early American aviator and movie screenwriter. In 1911, she was awarded a US pilot certificate by the Aero Club of America and became the first woman to gain a pilot's license in the United States. Just a year later, she became the first woman to fly across the English Channel, covering the distance of 25 miles in less than an hour. Unfortunately, her accomplishment received little media attention at the time due to the sinking of the Titanic that was dominating the news. Only a few months later, Quimby crashed her aircraft. Her brand new Blériot aeroplane pitched unexpectedly straight down to the ground. Quimby and her passenger died on the spot. And now let's have a look at our Hall of Fame. On the 6th of May 1957, the famous French helicopter pilot Didier Desailles was born. On May the 14th, 2005, he became the first and only person to land a helicopter on the top of Mount Everest, which is of course 29,000 feet high. On the 8th of May 1919, the famous American amphibian aircraft Curtiss NC-4 took off from Long Island for the first ever Atlantic crossing. The trip was long and it took 19 days to get to Great Britain. The whole expedition was divided into 6 legs. On the 9th of May 1926, Richard Byrd and Floyd Bennett departed from Spitsbergen in Norway on a round-trip flight to the North Pole. Using 3-engine Fokker F-7 aircraft, they flew approximately 840 miles to the pole and returned on the same day. The total duration of the flight was almost 16 hours. Famous polar explorer Lincoln Ellsworth was born on May the 12th, 1880. He was a teammate of Ronald Amundsen during numerous polar expeditions. Ellsworth made also 4 expeditions to Antarctica between 1933 and 1939 using his unique and fast aircraft. On May the 13th, 1916, Polish designer Alex Zatwornicki was born. He was a co-designer of numerous famous Polish gliders, for example the SZD Heron and the SZD Stork. So if you're still hungry for more aviation and airsports news, please visit our YouTube channel and our Twitter and Instagram as well. Of course, if we've missed any news, you can let us know. Write to us on news@airsportspromotion.com, or you can get in touch directly with me on Twitter @Regan Tetlow. And finally, a bit of relief from all this coronavirus stress. This is what Gregor Hines plotted on the sky using his father's Piper Cherokee aircraft just a few days ago. The message was, well, have a look. So congratulations to you, Gregor. The final text was over 30 miles long. So that's all for now. I'll see you next week. Keep safe, and of course, keep your eyes on the skies. Oh, excuse me.